Hello, I'm Ruthana and I'm a director at TU-Automotive, and we're here today at Insurance Telematics Europe. And with me I have got Richard Barlow, the CEO and founder of Wejo. So welcome, Richard.
Hi there. Hello.
Good. So would you like to tell us a little bit more about Wejo and your role within the insurance market or the automotive market in general?
Yes, so Wejo is a software business. We've developed a number of mobile apps, which we're now releasing as both us directly, but also we've released a software developers kit.
Okay.
And we've now insurers who are using our software developers kit and releasing their own apps.
Okay, so they're using your software development kits to create their insurance, their UBI apps.
Absolutely. So, one of our new clients, they're going to release an app where we're actually designing the app for them as well, but they're releasing the app to all their policyholders in the UK. Okay,
so what kind of services or functionality do the apps that can be built on your kits hold?
Well, so we have the basic functionality you'd expect from an app, such as driver scoring, journey recording. But then we've invested heavily in rewards, and our strapline as Wejo is rewarding every journey.
Okay.
So, for example, any insurer in the UK now, if they offer our app to their policyholders, they can offer a free MOT.
Okay.
To the other end is they can have every one of the policyholders can have a free coffee every Friday from one of our partners. So we've invested hugely, and we've got over 400 different rewards partners.
Right.
So we're looking to reward every mile you drive, or for every safe mile you drive.
So is that in addition to or instead of pricing discounts?
It's in addition to. So it's the thing we've learned is that one of the lessons we feel the industry needs to learn is that they need to get the consumer value exchange right. If they want a driver to share their driving data, they need to give something back. And giving a discount on renewal is interesting, but it's interesting that one day of the year on renewal. If you want to actually collect the more interesting data, which is claims data, which is proxy data, then you need to be providing something that actually gives something back to the driver every day they're driving.
Okay.
So how we built our tech is that the app can run every day of the year, and it will record collisions. But in return, then the driver is then given rewards for every mile they drive. So, for example, we've just agreed a deal where you can get free car washes, discounted car parking.
Right.
So it's a real sort of spread of offers.
And obviously, the better you drive, the more of these rewards you're.
So if a really good driver will get will obviously be offered a decent discount at renewal. We've got one partner who's offering 12.5% if they're the top end of the drivers. But also we're looking to provide from the free car washes to discounted car hire when you go on holiday, to discounted car parking at the airport. So we're focusing on every journey that the driver drives.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. So today or here at the event, you're going to be talking about a new partnership that you're just about ready to announce.
Yep.
You know, I won't steal your thunder. I'll let you tell everybody who that is.
Yeah. So we have signed a partnership with Consumer Intelligence, and Consumer Intelligence are a research organisation in the UK. And they provide valuable data to the insurance industry. They do that. They have a panel of tens of thousands of researchers. Those researchers are now going to be driving with our software developers kit running within their own app.
Okay.
And what it means is we can report to the insurance industry as to how well their own drivers are actually driving at the moment. But even more critically, we can start feeding back in real time claims hotspots, for example.
Okay.
So it's an exciting partnership.
Okay, so when you say claims hotspots, what exactly do you mean by that?
So we can identify in real time if there are postcodes where there's a higher ratio of claims than you'd normally expect. So the industry has relied on data which is potentially up to 18 months old before they understand where there's, for example, there's fraudulent hotspots, where there's an unusual number of claims and an unusual number of registered crashes. Whereas with our app, we can auto-detect a claim, and we can actually identify if it's a high-speed crash or a low-speed crash, and where actually this data is going on a real-time basis. Okay. Which we've found is very interesting for actuaries who can then change their rating models a lot quicker.
So have you already got this in practice, or is it yet to be underway?
We're in beta, so we are going live in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So it's all we've got the final. We've got a couple of thousand people driving with the SDK already embedded with the CI, and we're now going beyond that.
Okay. So what impact is this going to have for the industry going forward, would you say?
Well, the big thing for the industry is that telematics is still a niche offering. It's still less than 2% of all policyholders in the UK. And from the very start, we've always said that telematics is going to become a mass market mainstream offering. Connected cars are going to make that happen. Next year, there's going to be 500,000 new cars in the UK that are going to be connected. So very much the industry needs to recognise that, and we're now providing tools, we're now providing data that shows that actually what does a more mainstream driver looks like in terms of a UBI model rather than historic sort of niche type models.
Okay, so at the moment you just partner mainly with obviously the businesses providing the value-added services, and with the insurance carriers. And then obviously you've just announced this new partnership with Consumer Intelligence to provide that extra layer of data and information. We're seeing trends at the moment globally in the market where automakers are starting to look to embed these services. No surprise there, obviously telematics cropped up because of your PNDs and whatnot. And now it's been cemented in the aftermarket. It's the OEM is looking to pick it up to go embedded in market. I mean, are you looking forward to that point at this point?
Yeah, I mean, as a software business, we are already in Android and Apple, and we will be CarPlay compatible and equivalents and QNX compatible. But we're also now working with a couple of OEMs where the Wejo app or the SDK of the Wejo app will and can be embedded within the OEM's own infotainment. So it becomes part of the HMI. So, and we're already now receiving data from an OEM where a mobile data and aftermarket data is quite a small selection of data. Whereas if you can have data directly from the car, then you get a much more granular set of data. So, for example, we now know with one car if the car is parked inside or outside, which is one of the rating factors that insurers use. So, so absolutely.
Fantastic. Are you looking to stick with insurance, or would you be looking to provide these value-added services in other ways, in other different business models potentially going forward now that it is looking to become more
our key markets are insurance, OEM and fleet.
Right.
The reason why we're in fleet is that there is 5 million grey fleet drivers in the UK, and 2/3 of those grey fleet drivers are uninsured. So it very much fleet and insurance and OEM. It's a triangle of industries that very much work hand to hand, so that's why we operate those three sectors.
Okay, fantastic. Well, good to have you here today, Richard. Thank you for your insights, and I look forward to hearing more about this partnership on stage later.
Thank you very much. Thank you.